Another beautiful day in Florida, mid 70s. We're going to make a Cajun turkey today. Now look, I've done several low country boils. You know, you put all those awesome seasonings in the big pot with the water. I've even done a turkey in the low country boil. But today, I'm going to take that same idea, all those Cajun seasonings that you cook the low country boil in, and we're going to brine the turkey in that seasoning. It's my first time doing it. Like I say, we did a low country boil where we put that turkey in there and it turned out so good. But this time we're going to brine it so that we can then put it on the smoker, get some of that awesome smoke flavor. So I'm going to take you back to yesterday when I created this brine. Then we'll get the grill going and get this turkey all seasoned up. I've got 2 gallons of water here. Then we're going to use the crawfish crab boil package of seasonings, one of these Louisiana concentrates, and of course the crab boil seasoning. I'm putting in 2 cups of this dry seasoning. We'll mix it up to make sure all those granules are dissolved. And then next what I'll do is add in that liquid concentrate. Now this will add a little spice. If you don't want the spice, leave it out. We'll give that a stir just to make sure it's all mixed in well. Add our seasoning packet, and now we're ready for that turkey. We'll get the lid on this pot, put it in the fridge, and let it brine overnight. Right up to about 290. My wood today, I'm using oak. Just spread it around so we'll get a little wood throughout the cook. I want to cook this indirect, so I will put the plate setter in. If you're using a pellet grill, set it away from the fire. It helps a little bit. Then we'll put our grill grate in. This turkey has brined for 24 hours. Now, if you'll notice, the turkey was floating up, so all I did here, this is just water in like a Tupperware, it's not Tupperware, but plastic dish. And the weight of that held my turkey down, right? There's that seasoning we put in it. There's our turkey. So, let me turn it the other way so we can get all the liquid out. You can see my cat is interested in the turkey. Get this little, let's get this plastic thingy out. All I want to do is dry this off a little bit. For my injection, I'm using this Cajun injector, Zatarain's. It's like a Cajun butter. You guys can use whatever you want. I'm not partial to this brand. It's what they had at my grocery store. This injecting is pretty darn easy. You just want to, about every inch or so, inch apart, you stick this needle all the way in, like so. And then as you're squeezing the injection in, you just slowly pull it back. Now, I usually just inject the breast. You can inject the thighs. I don't know if we have enough injection here. We may do both. But because, the thigh is darker meat, it's usually not an issue with it drying out. Now, you can see we got a little extra fat here. Just you can trim off whatever you want, right? Set that aside. You can see I'm pretty wet from the injection. You may not need a binder at all. I do have a little duck fat here. If you watch my channel, you know I am a big, big fan of duck fat. It helps crisp up the skin. Hey, you could use butter if you want. A lot of people use butter, right? Personally, I just find the duck fat seems to work a bit better in terms of helping with the crispy skin. Now for this Cajun seasoning, I've got 2.5 teaspoons of paprika. I've got 1.5 teaspoons kosher salt, 2 teaspoons garlic powder, I've got a half a teaspoon each of black pepper and white pepper, 1 teaspoon of onion powder. I've got a teaspoon and a half of oregano, cayenne, and then here we have 1 teaspoon of thyme. Just a little bowl here. Just makes for mixing up easy. Now we're just going to sprinkle a light coating of that seasoning on both sides of our turkey. And then we'll make our way over to the cooker. And then the final thing is I am going to wrap these wing tips. They usually get pretty dark if you don't. Again, no big deal. Some people just cut those things off. You can see we've got a nice smoke going. I'm right up around 275 right now. Just get my turkey right here in the middle. And I did save just a little bit of rub to touch up. Usually when I handle it, putting it here on the smoker, on the grill, whatever you want to call it, always knock a little bit off. And that's why I save just a bit. Let's get the lid down on it and let it cook. It's been 2 hours, 20 minutes. Our turkey's at 153. Now what we're going to do is just put a little bit like a butter glaze on this turkey. It can't hurt it, right? It's going to give it some additional flavor. Probably add some more color. You know, we're doing this whole Cajun thing. You know, if you do a low country boil, you always put some butter in there. So I'm just going to do this one time. And about a half hour ago, I rotated the turkey just in case, you know, one spot of the cooker is hotter than the other. That way it'll keep, you know, be cooked fairly consistent. And what I had here was 2 tablespoons of butter, which is going to be more than enough. It's got some pretty good color on it. Let's get the lid down and let it keep going. It's been 2 hours, 55 minutes. Our turkey's at 163. It'll easily come up to 165. I'm going to get it off here and let it rest for about 30 minutes. While this turkey's cooling down, just remove this foil from the wing. You can see there. See, it's not burnt at all. That's the foil. It's a simple trick. Got a turkey here. It's got some nice color, you can see, all the way around from that Cajun seasoning that we put on there. With that little butter on at the very end. I think she looks pretty good. Now, doesn't really matter how it looks, right? It's all about how it tastes. So I'm just going to cut right into the breast. We'll have a look here in one moment. I was just going to try to cut part of this breast off, lay it down on the cutting board. Let me turn this around. It's hard for me to cut this way, especially on this rotating platter. I thought it would be good for presentation, but it's giving me heck. There it is. There's what the inside of it looks like. There, ooh, it's hot. There's that Cajun seasoning. I'm assuming you can see that okay. I think in the future, I have to take this off the rotating board. But I can see the moisture from here. Drop the fork. I don't know how well that comes out, but this turkey, that turkey breast is moist. Can't wait anymore. Look how tender. Look, look. Can you see that? It just falls apart. Just falls apart. And it has definitely got a Cajun flavor all over it. I mean all over it. Look how it just falls apart. It's got a little spice. You know, I put the cayenne in it, and of course the whole Cajun-Brined we put in it. It's got a little bit of a spice in it as well. Remember that liquid? That'll add the spice. Now, it's not hot. You know, I know some of you don't like hot sauce. It's not like hot sauce hot, but it is a little spicy. So if you don't like spicy, on the seasoning, I would leave the cayenne out. And on the brining, I would leave the liquid Zatarain's out. I would say, tender-wise, moist-wise, definitely the top 5 turkeys I've ever made. Absolutely delicious. Thanks for staying with me. It's Thanksgiving. I don't know when this video will come out. Probably closer to Christmas, knowing me. Have safe, happy holidays wherever you are. Wow.